This is how to scale your solar business past 100K per month by implementing an AI growth infrastructure into your company. And that's exactly what we have done for several solar businesses over the last few months. And here's how we could do the same if you just listen what I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes. My name is Justice, I'm the owner of Core Growth, and if you had the chance to land on this video, you are extremely lucky, because in the next few minutes I'm going to drop all the insights, and just for you to know, there will be no crazy editing or fancy animations, but what I can guarantee you that you will learn something and it will be worth your time. With that being said, let's dive straight into it. The easiest path to doubling your revenue while cutting down every single metric like cost per lead, cost per booked appointment, or cost per acquisition is by simply implementing an AI growth infrastructure into your solar company. And it will solve every single bottleneck you are currently facing, whether it's lead generation. And by the way, a quick reminder, if you're one of the first partners to join our growth program, we will run your ads 90 days completely for free. And after that, we will train you on how to run your own ads, or we will place a media buyer into your business. But let's get back to the point. It will solve every single bottleneck you are currently facing, whether it's lead generation, getting booked appointments, getting qualified appointments to show up to your call, or just all in all, more time for the task that really moves the needle and allows you to scale, which is simply hopping on enough sales calls every single day. Instead of wasting your time with cold calling, hiring, training, or managing appointment setters, or doing customer service day in and day out. And the truth is, you're probably facing at least one of these bottlenecks above. But if you're watching this video, it means you both can agree that there is so much more money to be made if you just could fix all of those bottlenecks at once. And I know, there are thousands of agencies out there offer to solve only one bottleneck at a time. There are agencies offer to run your Facebook ads to get you new leads, and there are other agencies offer to do your appointment setting, and they hire cheap appointment setters from the Philippines. But the result is you pay high monthly retainers to only solve one bottleneck at a time. But there are still many more. But what if I tell you that there is an AI growth infrastructure that not only solves every single bottleneck you are currently facing, but it needs to be built once, since then it will be released into your business, it works on its own, you owe it forever, and you don't have to pay high monthly retainers for just average results. So how does these AI growth infrastructures look like? And before I'm going to drop all the insights, first let me tell you how I personally got here. Maybe you have already watched some of my recent videos and you followed our journey over the last couple of months. I know exactly how it is to solve only one bottleneck of a solar business, and I know exactly how it is to solve every single bottleneck a solar business owner is facing. And I would choose the second option every single time. But for those of you who might not know me, I had a social media marketing agency for solar businesses offering to run their Facebook and Instagram ads. And over the last few years, we spent several six figures on those Facebook and Instagram ads. And I thought I was doing them a big favor by bringing in a consistent and qualified lead flow. But I realized it only solved a tiny piece of a huge puzzle, because the business owners still had to call the leads themselves or be dependent on cheap appointment setters with a strong accent who needs to be trained, managed and watched over. Yeah, I solved one issue, but many more arose. And I knew I had to do something to differentiate myself from the competition, just like you have to do. So I fell down the rabbit hole of AI, and I spent 6 months to become an absolute pro in the AI space. I made huge connections with some of the business owners of the craziest AI tools out there many of you guys have never heard of, and I dumped tens of thousands of dollars into licensing fees to use these AI tools to implement them into solar businesses. And this is why I rebranded my agency and created a whole new infrastructure which not only generates qualified leads, but also nurtures them, calls them and turns them into booked and ready to buy appointments. And this, everybody, is Core Growth. And this exact infrastructure allowed Steve, our first client, to close 3 new deals within 3 weeks of working with us. And this is the exact message he sent me afterwards. Our AI growth infrastructure allowed him to hop on 28 new sales calls and close 3 new deals within 3 weeks. And if you want to send me the same messages in the future, just keep watching. But please only continue if this is you. You have interests in actually making a lot of money this year or working up to 12 times less. You have a solar company that keeps getting downplayed by your competitors who are already using AI. You want to start implementing AI systems, but you don't know where to start. The current way you run your business is hard to scale due to the fact the bigger you get, the harder it becomes to fulfill. You're starting to feel the impact of being a commodity with no competitive edge in the market. And you thought you knew what to do to scale, but somehow, month after month, you're stuck in the same position, making enough to sustain yourself, but not enough to fulfill the dreams you had when you started the business. So this brings me to today's training, the trend bigger than the internet. AI and the internet are two of the most significant technological advancements of the modern era. While internet revolutionized the way we communicate, work and access information, AI will promises to transform the way we live, work and interact with technology. AI is not only the biggest trend in the world, but also the most lucrative opportunity for business owners out there. And this chart will show you exactly what impact AI will have on your personal life and your business in the next few years, because AI will be the biggest tech area to ever exist. It will be double the size compared to the widely considered world-changing internet and 4 times the size of the agriculture industry that we simply cannot live without. And some of the biggest companies in the world are switching to AI infrastructures. If you look at Google or at Microsoft. And why they're doing that? Because it solves every single bottleneck and inefficiency imaginable while building an overall more profitable business. And the AI growth infrastructures we are placing into solar businesses solve the biggest bottleneck in the entire solar industry, which is appointment setting. But why is appointment setting the bigger obstacle when scaling? It's one of the mechanisms that hasn't yet been solved by a technology at a sustainable cost. Advertising can get you a ton of leads at a good cost, or you can buy a lead list to gain an insane volume of potential customers at once. But then you are forced to build appointment setting teams to convert all of those leads. And to do it successfully, you need a big pool of setters as a churn is high in this role, because simply nobody likes to do appointment setting or cold calling day in and day out because it sucks. Then you need to manage them every single hour of the day. You need a good speed to lead, because if you don't engage with the leads within 5 minutes or less, the conversion rate drops and you might lose a potential customer. You need a consistent review and management process to make sure they are performing and meeting your quotas. So what is the AI growth infrastructure we are using, and why our solar business owners are going crazy over it? Let me introduce you to Core AI. Core AI isn't a traditional SMS or email AI. It's a conversational AI agent created and trained specifically for the solar industry. And Core can have 10 to 45 minute long conversations over the phone sounding like a real human with infinite memory, perfect recall, and can autonomously take actions across 5,000 plus applications. It can do the entire job of a full-time agent without having to be managed, trained or motivated, and it will work 24/7, 365 days a year. And we use it for one simple reason: it is that good. Imagine getting identical stats that top performing setters in company like Closes.io by Cole Gordon or Cardone Ventures by Grant Cardone have in their companies without a ramp up period, building complex trainings, tens of hours on interviews, paying high salaries and margin cutting commissions, spending an hour per day training them, reviewing hours of call to see if they are really performing, worrying about them churning to only have to rehire again, and the list goes on and on and on. But now imagine being able to go to sleep at night knowing the second someone opts into your lead form, they are immediately getting a call to set them. Imagine having someone who always follows up with the people who have booked their appointment and call them to make sure they show up and you don't waste your money and your time. And now imagine having an A+ team member that works 24/7 for a whole year for a wage lower than a VA in the Philippines who's working for $300 per month. And this is exactly what our AI callers are doing while having over 10,000 plus integrations, being able to call 10,000 leads per minute, being able to stick to a high converting sales script to really step by step qualify those leads, connected directly with your calendar so the AI can book those leads in at an available time, having a complete open API and therefore can send Stripe invoices or send contracts, creating a post-call transcription, having over 7 different voice options. We can make it a male voice, a female voice, bring in different accents, or for example make it a soft-spoken female voice. It has the ability to speak English and Spanish, automatically record all of those calls. You can listen to those calls and get a personal impression of the lead, and track the outcome of the call within 1 sentence. And all in all, having an infinite knowledge base and essentially a perfect recall. But the sheer metric it produces are just the most impressive part. If you look at this screenshot here, the first screenshot is out of a reactivation campaign with an old lead list. We let the AI caller call them and we got $25 per booked appointment or $64 per booked appointment, which is still insane. And here, $20 per booked appointment. And the second screenshot is out of a campaign where we let the AI call leads who submitted a form on Facebook or on Instagram. And the metrics here are just out of this world. We got $7 per booked appointment, $6 per booked appointment, or even $5 per booked appointment. And let me tell you one thing, your competitors are going to take advantage of this if you don't. Because our AI callers are able to call 10,000 leads per minute for only 11 cents per minute. And that is what will allow solar business owners to scale past 100K per month, because they don't have to build an appointment setting team that produces mediocre results, rely on triage callers who don't call the leads fast enough and ruin the opportunity, call a list of uninterested people themselves, follow up with every lead in the pipeline themselves, or waste money on unleveraged tasks. And because of that, they will be the ones that control the battlefield. So you got two options from here. Option A, implement an AI growth infrastructure into your solar business and become the Microsoft and Nvidia of the solar industry. And what I mean by that is very simple. First of all, let's look at the Microsoft stock, the company that owns the largest majority of OpenAI, and look what happened to the stock over the last couple months. Or let's look at Nvidia, another company leading the AI space, and the stock is just booming over the last year. Or you choose option B, refuse to implement AI into your business and end up like Apple, the company that has become notorious for not taking AI seriously and not investing into AI tools over the last 2 to 4 years. And look what happened to their company and how the stock went down. And the hard truth is, you're either going to start implementing AI growth infrastructures into your business or watch the ones who succeed while you're on the sidelines. So how can you succeed? We will personally bridge the gap of implementing an AI growth infrastructure for you. Because if you would do it yourself and you wanted to create an infrastructure, you would have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on building your own AI product, building a huge fulfillment team, building the entire backend to actually implement these infrastructures, all while adding more complexity to your operations, spending months to even get the ball rolling, and become a slave to your own business, all with no guarantee you will succeed. So instead, partner up with the best AI company in the entire solar industry. We've got the technology, we've got the fulfillment team to dominate the solar industry with you together right now and be a step ahead of your competitors. So I personally invite you to a 30 to 45 minutes growth consultation where me or one of our growth experts will walk you through on how we can partner up together, implement an AI growth infrastructure into your solar business to scale it past 100K per month in revenue together. To book your free growth consultation, click the button under this video before it's too late. I know we are able to help you big time soon and I'm looking forward to speaking with you personally. See you there.